Welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway for tonight's Bank of America 500. I'm Mike Joy with Darrell Waltrip.
Mike, you like playing at home?
Sure.
Well, all these teams do, and this is the home game for the race teams. They're all in the area right here. This is their home racetrack. Family, friends, everybody comes over here. Big night of racing.
A big super speedway, Darrell, a weather-sensitive racetrack, and one where strategy is key.
Well, racing into the night, that changes everything. It changes setup. This is one of the races in the chase. Everybody puts a lot of special emphasis in winning at Charlotte.
It's a short, fast ride to go home. Let's find out who will be first to the finish line.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the NASCAR 15 season here for the opening race of the round of 12 in the chase, where we try to lock ourselves into the round of 8 to give ourselves a chance to make the championship race. So here we are in Charlotte looking to advance to the next round, this opening race, the Bank of America 500. If we can get it done here, just like we did in Chicago, first race, the round of 16, we'll be through the next round and we'll have to worry about Kansas or Talladega. So here we go, back underway here in Charlotte as we are green and underway. We qualified back in 20th, but already gaining so many positions off the start. A big stack up on the outside lane here, just like that. We move up into 11th, into the top 10 here in turn 1 and 2. We're going to come out of it taking 9th place from Martin Truex Jr. here down the backstretch. A little bit of contact, a big wiggle. And we're side by side with Truex out of block Stenhouse down there. As now we sail it off into 3 and 4 and take 9th place from Martin Truex Jr. as we try to work our way back up to the front of this field. Jeff Gordon currently leading this race. We get to catch up to Kevin Harvick and Tony Stewart. The two Stewart-Haas Racing chase contenders right up in front of us. A big stack up into the back of the 4. He hangs onto it. As we move now up into 8th here on the inside of Harvick, we make it work. And now looking to the inside of Tony Stewart in the 14. He clears us a little bit of contact wiggle. We get turned by Harvick. We save it. Harvick did it, and then Larson hits us at a big wiggle there, just like that. We go all the way from up there, battling for 7th to 18th, and now we get to the back of Larson, just like that, driving back up in the top 15 now. To the inside of Brad Keselowski for 14th. We get a little bit physical there, but take the position, then go by Dillon and back by another chase contender and Ricky Stenhouse. And now look to go by Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick to get back in the top 10, and we will give Harvick the bumper into the wall. He goes, and that's going to be the first caution of the night for Kevin Harvick, pounding the wall here. As we just gave him a little bit of a send here, just wanted to give him a little bit of a bump, and he overcorrects, slams the wall hard, but I don't really see why that should be a caution, so I don't know about that one. But regardless, NASCAR tosses yellow. We stay on the racetrack here on lap 5. It's going to be 28 to go, or 29 to go as we restart here in the top 5. 3 wide, already got cars squeezing, and Truex, a huge stack up and up the track, and Rory Ricky big time. We got a huge crash behind us, and the big one underway here in Charlotte. We hit the inside pit wall right there. Huge as Kyle Busch is upside down. Oh my goodness. A massive eruption right off the bat on the restart. We didn't even get a chance to fight for a position. Truex goes up, so we bumped him, and he comes right up the track and absolutely wipes the sound of Stenhouse and Edwards and triggers a huge. Look at Kyle Busch go up and over back there. Cars start flipping and cars slam into each other, and it's absolute chaos here at Charlotte in the opening race of this round of 12 in the chase. I mean, insane amount of wreck here early. That was a huge pile up. But now we get back underway here on lap 7. We pitted to restart all the way back in 39th after being involved in that huge crash. And now we're already stacked up by Yaley. We're getting squeezed into the wall. And we're going to drop down to 42nd here off the bat. A huge wiggle. We get to the side of Chase Elliott. Somehow everyone hangs onto it and doesn't wreck. So we're back in 42nd now to work our way once again back through the pack. Now back in the top 40, going by Matt Kenseth for 39th. As we try to work our way through the field, you see on the mini map, Casey Kane right now leading this race on number 5. As we look to the inside of Harvick, go by him, go by Chase Elliott, working by the 3, the back of the net, Kyle Busch into the wall goes the 18. We get around him now underneath Michael Annett and Jeb Burton. As you work by Martin Truex Jr., Clint Boyer, Regan Smith, Bobby sounds like a huge 10. I mean, look at this move we just made. We shot right there through the middle up into 24th place here in Charlotte. So back in the top 25 as we start to work our way back up through this field now, trying to get up into contention for this win. Now going the back of Edwards into him. He's up into the 33. They bounce off the wall. Now so that we're in the top 20 in the 19th place. We seem to have a really fast car right now as we are really moving, flying through the pack. 29, 26. We just have the fastest lap of the race right there as we go by Ryan Newman underneath Michael Waltrip. He's giving him a huge bump. He wiggles, nearly wrecks. He saves it. We save it. But then Newman goes right back by us, so we go right back down to 17th place here, going down the back stretch, trying to hold off the 32 of Bobby Labonte. So we try to work our way through the pack now. As you see up there, we want to be up there with our chase contenders, battling for the win here, as every point matters in the chase to advance to the next round. So all the points are reset, so they're dead equal coming into this race. It's all about leading laps and winning and being the most consistent. So we go by Michael McDowell there. Now we'll go the inside. Newman into the top 15 now here into 1 and 2. A little bit of contact into Ryan Newman right there. We both wiggle. He bounces off the wall. We really get crunch jacks at the corner. Oh, we make it work. We clear Newman barely for 15th. Now back to our chase down the 55 of Brian Vickers, another chase contender here up in a good spot. There's Danica in the 10. You go by her, go by Joey Logano there in 13th. Up in the wall they go. We wiggle and we save it as we now move into 13th place, going by another chase contender in Joey Logano here with 23 laps to go. We continue to move forwards slowly but surely. We're making progress, making our way through the field right now. Catch up to the back of Trevor Bain and Brian Vickers now for position just outside of the top 10. It might break through back in the top 10 here underneath Trevor Bain and sending in the corner and into Menard. Big wiggle. He's up on the wall. We make an incredible save, and the pack ahead of us pulls a little bit further away. Larson and Vickers as we get into 11th here, trying to get anything going our way right now. As right now we wait, as we're expecting soon maybe some green flag stops. The guys who haven't stopped at all this race or stopped on that very first caution with Kevin Harvick. We will see how the strategy works at this very moment. And still we're driving through the field right now. We've driven all the way back from 42nd to 11th, 31 spots on this restart. And up there you can see, here comes the 55 Vickers. We slam into him. I didn't even know he's coming down pit road. A huge contact. He comes up here with Casey Mears, so we move into 9th, but we actually prevent Vickers from pitting by slamming into him because we weren't expecting him to pit. And now we lose a ton of momentum to the pack in front of us, including Jeff Gordon. We are a ways behind these guys now. This is not where we want to be, so we got to get back to work here and put our head down and get some positions back now. So we bounce off the wall there. We're in 9th though, so at least in the top 10. So we'll be pitting in a couple of laps or so as we see more guys getting ready to pit in front of us. So this time we take a higher entry to the corner. Now that we expect pit stops to be happening, we go right by Larson, McMurray, Blaney, and Keselowski, I think. So now we're in the 5th, going by Biffle. Huge momentum to the line. 4th now flying by Jeff Gordon into 3rd, heading into 1 and 2. Is this Jimmy Johnson and Casey Kane? Now it's a Hendrick Motorsports 1, 2, 3, 4 at this very moment with 20 to go. Casey Kane leads, Jimmy Johnson 2nd. We are in 3rd, and Jeff Gordon's in 4th. All the Hendrick cars in the top 4 positions in the running order right now. But we're in the middle of a pit cycle, so that probably won't last very long. As we send underneath the 48 Jimmy Johnson, and just like that, move into 2nd as Jeff Gordon gets passed by Biffle. And so now Casey Kane comes up in order. We take the lead here at Charlotte, and we'll lead a lap. That's a couple of points that we need here with a 19 to go. We lead, and now next lap 16, we're going to come down pit road this time for our scheduled green flag pit stop to make it to the next stop. It's going to be a 2-stop race. So we come down this time. We are going to get down the street. We'll try to throw a block at Biffle. We'll get down to pit road speed and nearly get wrecked coming into the pits. But we're going to come to the pit road, get 4 tires, full tank of gas, get 1 second repairs there, and we're going to make some adjustments, I believe, we're not going to make any adjustments. The car is the way we like it, so we're keeping it there. Just coming down pit road, 16-second stop. Hopefully we'll come out right in contention as we were flying through the pack there. Looks like Matt Kenseth stayed out on the racetrack to take the lead, but he's surely got a pit this time by. So we come down, and we're going to pit crew, going to get to work here. Seems good on the right side. And do the quick repair right there. Now onto the left side of the car. And an overall a good stop right there. Everything went perfectly, and we are off out of the pits. And we're going to come out first out of our group, which you can put us in a great spot here as we fire off great there through the corners. Of course, Matt Kenseth, he's coming down pit road now, so we just have to beat him back to the line, and we might cycle out to be the leader here. We may have a genius strategy playing our hands. Casey Kane cycles out to be the car. Will most likely be second behind us. He's behind us by about 2.5 seconds right now, but we're getting up to speed ahead of him as a great pit stop cycle all around for us here. As we come to take 16 to go, we're about to be in the race lead here in Charlotte with this amazing strategy call as we're going to fly by Matt Kenseth here as he's still not out of the pits yet. Here we go, 16 to go here in Charlotte, and we are going to take the lead from Matt Kenseth now here at Charlotte as we cycle back out into the race lead and look to pull away to honestly make an attempt to sweep the season here at Charlotte as we won the All-Star race in dominating fashion, and then we won the Coca-Cola 600 with the late charge, and here we are in the Bank of America 500 in the playoffs here. We have dominated this race. Well, you haven't dominated, but we just found our way up in the lead and are looking to dominate now the second half of the race. We bounce up in the wall there, some contact with the wall, but we keep going the right direction, and we set the fastest lap of the race as we drive off the lead. Now we move on to lap 26 here. 7 laps later, we have pulled away, have absolutely dominated since the last pit stop, and now it's our time for our second and final pit stop of the night here. Gonna bring it down to the pit road speed limit of 45 miles an hour as we roll right on in. Of course, Casey Kane, Greg Biffle, those guys are gonna fly by as they have not pitted yet, but we come in this time for our scheduled pit stop and are gonna be putting ourselves in a great spot for the finish of this race, where we can just run out, hopefully cycle out to be the lead, and just keep doing what we've been doing and bring home a win and a spot in the round of 8 as we come into our pit box, and the crew going to give us service. And another textbook stop right there from the crew. Going to get us out perfectly. First out of our group of guys that came down pit road. Right now we cycle out to be a lap down in 9th place, but that will change as right now all the guys that are ahead of us are. Oh yeah, by Josh Wise, they're trying to merge on the track. Nearly caused a caution, but we stay green here. As the guys in front of us have to come down pit road. So we are the first car, because we were ahead of Casey Kane, so the first car who has pitted. And so we expect to be getting the lead back in a lap or two shortly. As we expect Boyer to come down pit road this time. So we sail it right by Michael. And indeed, Boyer coming down pit road with the rest of the leaders pretty much. We're going to sail right on by, get back on the lead lap here. As now we look to gain some spots of the guys who had just pitted before us and just fly by pit road. Just like that, we're in the 3rd place. And it's Clint Boyer and Matt Kenseth, the two guys who we got to get around, who are usually good at staying out longer than they're supposed to out on the racetrack. As we like to pull away here, secure this win late in the race here with this late race pit stops. You go by Regan Smith, Kurt Busch going really slow. We find a way by him. Now the lapping guys like Michael Waltrip, Eric Almirola, Cole Witt, as Kenseth right on the leader past pit road. We have a big momentum as we take 5 laps to go in Charlotte. We go by Clint Boyer for second. Now we're going to take the lead right back from Matt Kenseth. Now it's just hanging on for 5 laps, and we have ourselves a spot in the round of 8 and another win on the season here at Charlotte as we use the bumper. Cole Witt, he wiggles up the racetrack. He goes. He drops back a couple of positions. As now we chase down the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. to lap him in 30th. We do put him 1 lap down as we continue to move through this field, and this time by we look to continue our lead, and we do over Keselowski, Kane, and Boyer. We lead the way here in Charlotte. 4 to go. And I'm on to 1.5 laps left here, coming to the white flag. This time we're chasing down Denny Hamlin, chase contender, about to get lapped in 24th. Now we give him a bump, and up to the wall he goes. We stick Hamlin in the fence, coming to the white. Thank God that was not a yellow. White flag, final lap. This is by Critter One Bank here at Charlotte. We are about to sweep the season at Charlotte and win all 3 events here, including 2 points races, and are about to lock ourselves into the round of 8, where we will have a chance to punch a ticket to the championship race in Homestead to compete for this title, which we've had the points lead for almost in the entirety of the season. As through the 3 and 4 for the final time, we just taking it easy here, making sure we get through the corner just fine. And indeed we do, and we are going to make it happen. A 12-second lead. We win at Charlotte, and we're on to the round of 8 with an amazing dominant win here in the Bank of America 500. Puts us through the next round of the chase. Once again, nice and early, winning the first race of the round in dominating fashion. That's the way it's going to be. You'll love to see it. As now let the burnouts begin, as we mean to burn down in celebration here in the Charlotte infield, as we won the All-Star race, dominated that one. Coca-Cola 600 won that race with a late charge, and we've absolutely dominated this race after taking the lead after the first cycle of pit stops. Just cannot be stopped here as the burnout is done, as now we go to celebrate in victory lane with the crew. And now we're going to view the final race results. Of course, myself, your winner tonight, as we lead the most laps, fast lap of the race, win the race. Brad Keselowski, chase contender, your runner-up. Casey Kane comes home 3rd, strong run for him. Biffle comes home 4th. Clint Boyer, chase contender, in 5th. Carl Edwards 6th, Ryan Blaney 7th, Brian Vickers, a chase contender, in 8th, Jeff Gordon 9th, and chase contender Jimmy Johnson in 10th. Then AJ Allmendier back there. The next chase driver will be Stenhouse in 13th, and then Logano in 16th, Stewart in 17th, Harvick in 19th. And then you got to go down to see Denny Hamlin in 26th, 1 lap down. As we look through the rest of the order, see Kyle Busch 36th, not the finish he was looking for, and of course Casey Mears finishes in last. And now we're shortly going to see the updated chase grid standings after this race, where we of course locked in the next round with a win here, and then Brad Keselowski looking comfortable right now, plus 15 points above the cut line, tied with Casey Kane. They are both 15 to the good. Clint Boyer right now looks 13 points to the good. Brian Vickers 9 to the good. Jimmy Johnson 7 points above the cut. Stenhouse plus 4, and Joey Logano now just plus 1 over Tony Stewart at the playoff bubble. And just below them, 10th, 11th, and 12th, going to be some Joe Gibbs Racing drivers. And you have Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch. Harvick going to be -2, I believe, or -3. Denny Hamlin -10, and Kyle Busch -20. So until the next episode, we have Racing from Kansas. I hope you all have a good one.